trying to go live here, unsuccessfully so far.
Yeah,
See if this one works.
Is the worst.
We're walking on the prairie with the baby.
And we are suspicious of YouTube. Prairie walking fools. Awesome.
Brighten things up a little. Okay, so if you're on here, you can hear us. Let us know, because we've tried. This is our third or fourth attempt at doing a live, and it'll say we're live, but when we check it on our other phone, it doesn't show that anything's happening. So if you're on here, you can hear us. Say hello. Say something. Give us a thumbs up. Smash that like. All that fun stuff.
Maybe it's set mine as scheduled because it said something about being scheduled on there. Like it had like a little.
But it shouldn't show that you're live on your screen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It showed you that you were live. Are you in on mine? Because it says there's one person.
I can't tell because yours is just it's not working.
Because it showed one person and then it went back to 0.
Just slowly loading.
If you can hear the sound of my voice.
Oh yeah, it's working.
Oh, okay. You want to?
But the quality is terrible. I don't know if it's because my data is terrible or not. Yeah, and it's just like going.
You want to operate it?
Okay.
You can do it. I don't really like holding it.
Okay.
I get tired. I do it if I have to. Okay. Well, I'll just close this down. Service purpose anyway. And hopefully we'll be able to see the comments.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe your phone's.
If anybody joins us, because usually they don't join if it's just See America, unless they're being prompted by corn-fed.
Well, here I'll put a post on the corn-fed. Come over to See America. We're doing it live.
Yeah, and here. Eventually it shows live chat. Wait, it has more options on this thing. Oh yeah, it has super chat.
Yeah.
Super chat.
That's the good thing about that. Oh, I gotta get the link to See America first.
It's gonna take like a half an hour though.
No.
This is too much trouble.
It's gonna work.
Okay. Okay, well, while he's waiting, I'll tell you guys a little story. And that is, I taped my mom and asked her like big life questions, like overall, what are you proud of in your life? What would you have done over? And are you happy with how your life turned out? All that good stuff. And so she wanted to watch the interview. I was showing it to her last night. And she said, I had no idea I came off like that. And I asked her, like what? And she said, like an old lady. She had no idea that other people viewed her as an old lady. I guess she still looks at herself as a young person. But yeah, being over 80, yeah, she's an old lady now. It was funny. She says a lot of funny stuff. One time she was talking about possibly dating and getting remarried, and she was saying, well, you know, I've always liked the older men. All the older men are dead. So she doesn't really have a pool.
She said, because we were talking about a guy that was kind of flirting with her at a mall. And when we were like teasing her, like, oh, he was flirting with you. And she said, well, what he doesn't know is that I prefer older men. And they're all dead.
Trying hard to look like Gary Cooper. Super duper. It's kind of a weak, sunny day today. Weak winter's day. We're very happy today, though, because our puppy dog has sprung back into action. It looks like he was on death's door, but luckily he received the proper treatment and he's back in the swing of things.
Yep, he gave us a scare though.
Yeah, he certainly did.
It almost looked like he was a goner.
Yeah. You about done?
I think I am. I'm just checking it.
Okay, I was just thinking, like, this is so much trouble. We should just be enjoying our walk. Like, we shouldn't do this.
Yeah, if nobody's coming on, we'll give this a moment.
Okay.
See, I put that. We're live over on See American Projects. Come join the fun.
Okay.
Give them like 5 minutes. If nobody shows up, we'll shut it down.
All right. Well, how am I to know if anybody's there anyway? Won't show up on my service. My cell service is terrible.
Yeah, we are in the process, if anybody's listening, of getting new switching companies.
Oh, there's somebody in here. Okay.
Well, hello.
Hello, hello.
Welcome to the chat. Say hi.
And we might be able to see your chat because we were just complaining about our cell service.
Yeah, we've been having non-stop trouble. I don't know if it's from YouTube or from our cell provider. Well, we know our cell provider is terrible, so we're suspicious of that. But YouTube's been doing a lot of weird stuff lately as well.
And we tried to go live on Cornfed Live, but we're suspicious of that too. We're suspicious that part of the shadow banning is not allowing the lives to work properly to say to other people, it's still upcoming, even though we're live at that moment.
Yeah, because it showed us on our phone that we were live, but then when we checked it on our other phone, as going on as just a regular channel, it kept saying upcoming. It didn't show that we were live, so we don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
We're trying to do a live here. So if somebody's in the chat, we would love it if you said hello so we know that this is working.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can see your message, because that's what we were saying. We did one the other night, last night, and only one of our phones would show the chat. I will check it on this phone, even though it may or may not show because it's so slow.
But now it's showing that there's 0 people in the chat, so I don't know if there is somebody there or not. Oh no, it's showing that there's somebody there. We're confused. Confused and lost out on the prairie. Beautiful prairie. It's the old cornfield.
Cornfields for corn-fed.
Yep.
Corn-fed cornfields.
Yeah, having a lot of weird dreams last night.
Oh yeah?
I don't know what they meant. They're all about
to...
my family acting completely opposite of what I know them to act like.
You're going to need to call Daniel.
Daniel?
Yeah. He can tell you what they mean.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We're just reading in the Bible, Daniel being an interpreter of dreams.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy because it's fun to read the Bible multiple times because you get different things out of it. And the thing that struck me as funny this time reading the story of Daniel, which...
Here, let me get on your other side.
I've heard the story of Daniel many, many times, but the thing that struck me as funny was that the king said, whoever can interpret my dream, I'll give them all this great wealth, and they'll be the third in the kingdom, and you know,
and they'll get a gold chain.
A gold chain, y'all.
And a purple robe.
Probably with a BMW logo. And so Daniel came in and said, yeah, I can tell you the dream. And this was the funny part to me. He said, I don't need your crap. I don't need any of this stuff. I don't need any rewards. I'll just tell you. So that was funny because he's like, I don't need the stuff. But then he tells him, but what he tells him is, oh yeah, God says that you're done. You're going to fall this very night, and these other kings are going to come in and take over, and you're done for. And then the king's like, oh, wow, thank you. And he still gives him all these prizes. It's like, he just told you you're a goner, but he still gives him all this stuff. And then, sure enough, his reign ended that night, and the Medes and the Persians took over. But it's just like, it's so funny. This
Is
king,
that where we get the
I think this king had lost his mind.
drink mead from the Medes?
Maybe.
Maybe. I
But
don't know.
I just think it's funny that he had lost his mind, because you'd think like he'd be like, what? How can you say that about me? You throw him in the pits, But he's like, oh, thank you for interpreting. So
So
strange.
be sure and smash that like button and leave
Oh.
a comment.
Actually, I said that all wrong. It wasn't a dream. I'm confusing because earlier he interpreted a dream. It was the writing on the wall. Let's get that
right.
straight. It was not the dream he interpreted, it was the writing on the wall. Earlier in the book of Daniel, he was doing dream interpreting. But yeah, it was the writing on the wall that said, like, you're done for. You have been weighed and found lacking.
Well, we're really happy because our little puppy dog is not done for.
Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah, we were praying that he'd be able to stick around with us for many years to come, and it looks like he's almost completely cured today.
Yes.
The
He's doing so
vet
much
said
better.
that they had meningitis. Strangely enough, this is something I did not know, is that in the doggy world, meningitis is not from pathogens. Like, it's not from bacteria or viruses, anything, fungus, anything like that. It's from inflammatory response. Isn't that weird?
Crazy.
Never heard of that before. So they just put him on some steroids, and he's acting like he's never been hurt.
Well, he's still a little sore. He's not, his back
Yeah,
legs
he's not
still,
100%, but come on.
yeah.
It's like the difference
Yeah, it's
between
night
night
and
and day.
But yeah, his back legs still have a ways to go before he's 100%.
Do you want to look at the chat? Were you looking at the
Yeah,
chat?
I check it every little bit.
Okay.
It says there's 2 people. Hey, if you're in the chat, say hello. Hopefully we can see it.
Hello.
I'm trying to check, but I haven't seen anything yet. I don't know if that's because nobody said anything, or it's just our phone's not showing us.
Yeah, because last night we were under corn fed,
Yeah.
and we did a chat live for about an hour, and then, well, not for an hour, maybe a half an hour, and then we looked on it and under a different phone, and
I have some.
Okay. And then we noticed, oh, there's been 2 people that have been chatting this whole time.
Yeah, but none of them were showing up on their phone.
Yeah.
But I wanted to say one important lesson to take away from our dog is always get a second opinion, because after we talked to the first vet, she was saying, oh, it's probably this, and you're probably looking at $5,000 to $7,000 to rehabilitate him. And so in my mind, I was thinking, and that's not a guarantee. That's $5,000 to $7,000, and maybe he'll get better, maybe he won't. So I was thinking, that's something we can't afford. So I was starting to think like, well, we might need to say goodbye to our dog.
That's what I think he gets real sick too. Well, I guess it's time.
But anyway, I thought, well, there's no harm in getting a second opinion. And before you put your dog down, especially a young dog, I mean, if he was, 15 years old, it's a different story. But a young dog, I thought, well, it makes sense to at least go see this higher level, I wouldn't say it's a higher level vet. It's just they have better facilities and all this.
Yeah, they
fancy
have
stuff.
more capabilities there.
It's part of K-State University.
Yeah.
So I thought, yeah, it's worth it to spend another 100 or 2 to go get a second opinion. And thank God we did, because it turned out to be this other thing, the meningitis, which looks like it can be treated with drugs and fixed. And we've already seen his dramatic improvement, so it looks like it's already, he's on the mend.
They were really pushing for, at this facility though, they were pushing for an MRI and a spinal tap. And I didn't really want to do a spinal tap on the dog.
Yeah.
I was thinking an MRI because I was thinking it was an emboli or something, or not necessarily the discs because it's a young dog. And she wasn't really going for that. She was thinking, oh, it's probably the meningitis and they'll do lab work on it and stuff. And I thought, fine. And then she came back and talked to us about it, and she left off like a vital piece of information. And that was that the dog had marked improvement in just a little while. So we knew it wasn't like an emboli cutting off the blood supply or a disc or anything.
Right.
That we knew that, yeah, we should try for the steroids. So finally we got to the point where we thought, oh yeah, then her diagnosis is probably correct. And then we decided to just treat instead of going through all the diagnostic tests that would cost us like $3,000. So we came to a good conclusion through that hospital. It was good. Hey, 12 Stones. Yes, we are well. And our little puppy dog is well. So we are happy today.
He's getting better. Yeah, yesterday we thought we might lose him forever. And he's only 2 years old, 2.5 years old. And he's an awesome dog. So we were really sad. Because it looked like there wasn't any hope for him. But thank God we took him to K-State University Vets. And they've got him on a drug treatment. And it's not even going to cost a lot. And it looks like he's already showing improvement. So we're very hopeful. Yes. Hopeful that God will heal him and restore him to his puppiness.
Bouncy self.
How's 12 Stones today? How are you doing?
Is it Wendy?
No, 12 Stones is a dude. Well, it's a family, but it's is it Josh? I forgot 12 Stones' name. I want to say Josh, but I don't know if that's right. It's the young guy. It's the young buck.
The young guy. We only hang out with the old people like us.
Well, you know, it's easy to be the young guy when most of the homesteaders are old guys with big bushy beards. So on the YouTube community, he's the young guy.
So we're coming to
the fork in the road.
The 1 mile mark. So we've made it 1 whole mile. Oh, Byron. He said, haha, my name is Byron.
Oh, I don't know where I got Josh.
I'm doing well. It's sunny and 81 degrees. You know what, Byron? I just read this blurb in Reader's Digest, and it said the worst thing about dealing with the cold or living in the north is dealing with the cold winters and having to shovel out your drive and then dealing with that one guy who's always bragging that it's 80 degrees where he's at.
That's you.
But yeah, I thought of that because my brother always tells me, he's in Northern California, not where there's flooding right now. He's always telling me how nice and warm it is out there. So who's your favorite poet, Byron?
Lord Byron.
I heard that he was a pretty loose guy. He wasn't a very reputable man.
Hey, don't be talking about our YouTube friend.
Okay,
like that.
sorry, Byron.
She's talking about the poet. Oh.
Also, the lady, Mary Shelley, she was the one that wrote Frankenstein, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she also was like of the more lenient nature.
Why are you talking about all these trashy folk?
Because they all came together.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
They all came together, Lord Byron and his buddies, like Mary Shelley and her husband, who was also a famous writer, I believe, and some other people, and they all came together in the castle, and they would do terrible things, the terrible, sinful things, but in between doing these things, they would
A little bolt.
get together at night and tell each other stories, and that's where
Why are you showing me? Here, you're the one talking.
that's where Dracula came from telling one of these night stories, and also Frankenstein. That was one of the stories they just told each other, and then they ended up writing novels off of it because they thought, oh yeah, these are great stories, so they went ahead and wrote novels.
No, you're doing all the talking, so you gotta be on camera.
I don't do on camera.
She likes to talk and then show me as if I'm talking, but I'm just sitting
I
here.
just want your expression, like he's so expressive.
It's like, can you imagine if they did an interview? That would be funny. Do an interview with somebody and switch cameras to whoever's talking, show the other person. We should do that sometime. That would be
Okay.
funny. Show the person that's not talking, just so you never see the person, you just get the reactions. Oh, we got to see if our neighbor guy got his drone out of his tree yet. Poor kid. Just got a brand new drone and then it got stuck up in his tree.
Yeah.
Well, with all his dad's tools in that big old shop, I'm sure they found some way to get it down.
I'm sure. He said he was gonna go get a pole too.
Well, what's funny is he lives here with us. Look around. Do you see any trees? So he could have literally flown it in any of these fields, but he flew it next to his house that's surrounded by trees. So he picked like the one place with trees. Like, hey, I'll fly my drone here. It's like literally you can go anywhere else and have no worries about trees. Yeah, that's pretty bad when your drone gets stuck in a tree in the middle of Kansas. Now in Oregon, it's kind of inevitable because there's stinking trees everywhere. But in Kansas, it's like you had to be trying to get that thing stuck.
Well, their property is surrounded by trees,
Oh,
actually.
here's a nice tire popper.
Yeah.
Where did I put? Which pocket did I put that in just now? Put it in my coat. What did I do with that other bolt? That's weird. I just picked up a bolt. I have no idea where I put it.
I'd like to take a moment to
Oh, it's down here.
highlight my shoes.
I should put it in this little outer pocket.
I'm still really happy with my shoes. They're Asics. I got them on clearance yesterday.
And they're very pretty.
Went to the mall.
Yes, there are still some malls out there.
The mall in Manhattan, Kansas is actually very nice.
It's still kind of dying off though. It's got lots of empty stalls. Like most malls.
Well, it does have a lot of stores that are still going.
Yeah.
And it's pleasant to walk around in there. It's nice. It's like, why wouldn't this be booming? Because the Midwest weather is so terrible. Why wouldn't it be booming?
It's not so bad.
I guess the Mall of America is pretty booming in between shootouts. Because
it's literally
like
booming.
Minnesota is like
boom, boom, boom.
is like serious cold weather. So
Yeah.
we went to there one time. I think they had like 4 tiers, and so we walked all of them, and they had the miniature golf, the big theme park, which is really reasonable. It's like $40 a person for all day unlimited rides on the theme park, and they had quite a few roller coasters and neat looking rides. It was a really neat looking theme park.
And what was cool about it is they pack those rides in so tight. So it's not like, Disneyland or Magic Mountain where you ride one ride, then you got to walk a quarter mile to the next ride. It's literally like all of them are right there. There's no wasted space. There's just like so many roller coasters just jammed in.
But it's still attractive the way they did it. They did it kind of like a garden. So you're like walking through this neat area. Whoop! I found a pretty. Gotta add that to my collection.
I just like the idea that you don't have to. You can get from one coaster to the next like so quick and easy.
Yeah. And they had those IMAX type rides too. Kind of like flying over California. Ooh, look at this one.
Oh man,
that's a fun one.
Here, put
You want that?
Put that in this little guy.
Okay. There we go. We saw an IMAX theater around Manhattan yesterday too.
Giving you the reactions.
Yeah, I was watching. I just saw something that looked like a prairie dog, so it reminded me of this. I was watching the Urban Rescue Ranch, and he has like 2 little prairie dogs, and they're so cute and fat. I just think those would make really good pets.
They'll make great pets. They'll make great pets.
Yeah, so people should stop shooting them and take them in as pets. I think you could get, funny enough, I think you can get like a form of chicken pox from them.
Really?
Yeah, they're like
Prairie pox.
prairie pox, like that. Prairie puppy pox. And in other news, we're on our last season of the Newhart Show, season 8. So Stephanie and Michael finally got married after it looked like she'd been pregnant in real life for like 6 months, and then they finally made him get married because she was showing too much.
And there was a great guest appearance by Johnny Carson. That was fun. The Larry, Daryl, and Daryl were saying that Johnny Carson paid their gas bill every month, and Dick wouldn't believe them. So at the end of the show, Johnny Carson comes in and says, like, I can't believe people like you. You're just so horrible, and why wouldn't you believe these fine men and fine young men?
Oh, I got some talking to get. It was 37 when I woke up this morning, Byron says, and he said, that's hilarious. Something we said was, oh, okay. When we were talking about Lord Byron, he said, yeah, he was very loose in morality side. And then he said, ooh, sounds so delightful. And said, trees are only by the house. They're mostly to act as a windbreak, correct? That is correct, sir. Especially on the north side.
Yeah.
No, not especially on any side. Because
in Kansas, the wind blows every direction.
You know, it changes direction like...
It's crazy.
Like every hour or so. It's weird.
Yeah, but we notice it all the time. The wind, it's not even like it blows mostly from a certain direction. It blows from the north, the south, the east, the west. It's very bizarre out here.
Yeah. So where are you at? You in Texas, or where are you at so sunny?
Probably Texas or Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I think he's in Texas. I don't know. I was wrong about his name though, so I should just stop guessing.
What did you say his name was?
Josh.
Hey, Josh Texas.
He looks like a Josh.
Yep, Texas. Ah, we got it right. He is from Texas.
All right. We're batting 500.
I would have thought it'd be funny if we got his state and his name wrong. Sounds like a great place to watch tornadoes. Well, our next door neighbor had their house wiped out by a tornado, but that was long before we ever got here.
Like 30 or 40 years ago.
Yeah, it's like the weather patterns have changed so that we don't really see tornadoes in this area anymore.
They've all moved to Oklahoma.
But we still get, the most spectacular thunderstorms.
Yeah.
And it is a great place because the thunderstorms will be going on, east and west and north and south, so that you can just sit in one place and watch it all.
Yeah, because you can see so far, your view is unobstructed out here. So you can always see a storm going on somewhere.
Are you joshing me? He says. That's when you call somebody Josh that isn't a Josh. Yep. You're joshing him.
I had several friends named Josh back in Oregon, so maybe that's why he reminded me of them.
We got Josh, Carr is the only one I know. Who's your other
Well,
Josh?
Joshua.
Oh, okay.
Joshua the dentist.
Oh, yeah, the dentist. That's right. Dentista. Oh, I saw collected some dirt too along with that. So the thing about here is it's really super dusty. Is it dusty around where you live in Texas? It's like so dusty out here. We didn't have to deal with that in Oregon, where it's like I go like maybe 1 or 2 days without cleaning and it looks disgusting.
You look disgusting.
So that's a glass out here on this road.
Lots of shotgun shells too.
Huh.
What is this?
This is where all the action
Is that a
comes
shotgun
out.
shell cap?
Yeah, it's part of it.
Yeah. Shotgun shells everywhere. Everybody comes out here and shoots the geese.
We didn't see.
The poor geese and the ducks.
And you know what the county says? They says don't take the carcasses to the dump after you're done cleaning.
Yeah.
You just take them out in the middle of nowhere and dump them here on the side of the road. We haven't come across where they do dump them.
Well, I don't think it would stay around long because the coyotes would finish them off.
Yeah.
Pretty quickly.
I think they dumped a little bit down the road of our house road, and then the dog found one day. Dog is good at that, eating things that it's not supposed to eat. Yeah, little Pepper's got meningitis and
Meningitis.
the San Francisco tree.
No, I was doing like the
old gingivitis?
Gingivitis.
Oh, okay. Misread that one. Says not dusty in this area, but southwest of Fort Worth has a very arid climate and includes dust storms.
Those
are exciting.
The haboobs.
Haboobs.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw one of those in Arizona once, and it was scary.
Remember,
It's like a giant black wall going up like 100 feet.
Remember we were going to Denver and we came across one?
Oh,
so
yeah.
that we wouldn't have been able to catch our plane. But luckily, so this dude, he stops, he has a roadblock, and he stops us and says like, oh yeah, you can't get through. All the roads, like the freeway and all the roads are closed down.
But
and
we don't take no for an answer.
yeah, Craig said like, you know what, I bet 36 isn't closed off. So he went up there, nope, it wasn't closed off, and we got through just fine.
Yep. I don't even think we had to go that far. I think we just went up to like 24.
Oh, okay.
Because we were down on 70.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we got through, and we literally ran the entire length of the Denver airport.
Yeah, we did.
And just got there as they were boarding the last few people. It was amazing. Because we did not want to miss that flight.
You know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see a thunderstorm in the middle of a dust storm. That would look so beautiful.
Yeah, from a good distance off.
Yeah, I don't want to be in the middle of it.
Yeah, we're hopeful that someday we'll get to see a tornado a good distance off and to the northeast of us.
Yeah, not destroying anybody's property. We know a guy whose house burnt down just before, like an old guy, his house burnt down just before Christmas.
Yeah, that's so sad.
Yeah. And it burnt down like all the money that he earned.
Yeah, he kept a lot of cash on hand.
Yeah, from the previous crop. Burned down all that money.
Don't keep cash on hand unless it's in a fireproof lockbox.
Yeah, right.
Any more comments?
No. That's what I assume anyway. Like,
who knows?
Yeah. YouTube doesn't like us very much. Neither does our cell service.
Yeah, mine's way behind in the chat on this phone. The good news is, in the next 2 or 3 days, we should be up and running with a new cell phone company. And we're hopeful that it's going to be a lot better. Because we have just about given up on this one. Well, we're going to try it for one of our lines, and then if it's much better, we'll maybe bring both of our lines over.
Yeah.
We have a Kansas-only cell phone company.
We're going to try the Pure Talk, so we'll let you guys know if Pure Talk is a good way to go or not.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a good company that doesn't support a bunch of junk.
Yeah.
So we'll try it.
Oh, a rubber glove. Somebody was doing giving somebody a physical out there.
I think they're probably just cleaning the...
Yeah.
or like touching the carcasses.
That's what's amazing to me is that some of the hunters, like the guy that was butchering his deer, he like does it with no gloves, just bare hands touching all this bloody raw meat. I'm a germ freak. I couldn't do that.
Byron says, sounds like a wonderful company. Is he being sarcastic for our Kansas company, or is he meaning pure talk?
I don't know. Yeah, the Kansas company is bad. So it's the Kansas company is called Nextech, and they actually own their own towers. They're not like subleasing until you leave this area. Then they dump you onto other carriers' towers, and then your thing slows way down. So if you're somebody that just sticks like around your area and you don't leave Kansas, in fact, I think it's only in certain areas of Kansas. I don't even think it's statewide, because when we go a few hours away, sometimes it gets bad. So it's like if you live in north central Kansas and you don't go anywhere, it's a great company, and it's very cheap. But the problem is, well, lately it hasn't even been working good at home. But I think part of that is because we did a lot of traveling, and so we used a lot of roaming, so then they just buckle us down at home too. Anyway, stay away from Nextech.
He says the company you mentioned that doesn't support a bunch of junk.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and man, we try to avoid companies that, support abortion and the alphabet rights and all that. But it's getting really difficult. Like every company, woo, every company out there nowadays wants to get woke and go broke and all that.
I was trying to make you into a moderator, but my screen won't work because my phone hates me. So
Here, let me try.
Leave that for another time.
Yeah, he could be our second ever moderator. We only have. Yeah, sometimes you just have to keep messing with it.
Yeah.
Because when I touch on your icon, it does the little focus thing, like it thinks I'm trying to focus the camera. I'm not trying to focus the camera.
Go like that. Oh, you did it?
No. Sometimes if you go back to this, to the chat, and bring it, keep doing it, eventually you can make it work. But yeah, we even quit Walmart, which, as you can imagine, is kind of hard to do, because especially when you live out here in the middle of nowhere, there's not a lot of options for buying things. So it's kind of hard living without Walmart. But
let me try it.
Walmart decided to go full woke, and they started making a Pride ice cream, and it's their store brand. It's not like they're selling some other company's junk. Walmart's store brand made this Pride ice cream. I can't remember what they called it, but it was something about pride, and it has like, the rainbow flag colors on it.
Our normal walks are 2 miles, but this one is a 4 miler.
Yeah, every once in a while we do 4. Our New Year's resolution is to try to do more 4 miles.
Yeah, we're trying to be impactful for what we do.
I'll keep trying on it.
Okay. Because, it really does work.
Yeah.
Just like Macy's stopped supporting Planned Parenthood because they felt the pressure.
Yeah, here, I'm going to flip this upside down real quick.
So
but yeah, life is...
make evil easy to endure.
Yeah, and I just think if Christians would just all do that, these companies would knock it off. It's that so many people, it's amazing to me that Christians are still like, oh yeah, you got to take the kids to Disneyland and watch all the Disney movies. And I'm like, Disneyland has been bad for a long time, but now it's getting ridiculously bad. I mean, the Disney company in general, they're just pushing so much garbage. And I just think, how can all these Christians indoctrinate their kids into this? Because they did it when they were kids. And it's like, yeah, when you were kids, it was a different Disney. But my opinion is that Disney's actually been bad since I was a kid, but it wasn't so overt. It was they kind of hid some stuff. But nowadays it's in your face. They just had that movie that we protested recently, their newest movie, where the main character is this dude, and he's a young kid. He's supposed to be 12 or 15 or something. he's in love with this other boy. So I'm like, they're just being overt with it now. But yeah, if Christians would all just band together and say, hey, if you're gonna trounce on our beliefs, we're not gonna be shopping at your company and promoting you, then I think these companies would start being more careful. Do you watch Conversations That Matter YouTube channel? I haven't heard of that. I'll have to look it up. But yeah, even members of our family, I won't name names, but we even have family members like we quit Starbucks years ago. I mean, not that we ever spent very much at Starbucks because it's like ridiculously expensive, but we'd go there occasionally, you know, a couple times a year. But Starbucks, they went like full on woke. And we have a family,
Planned Parenthood.
and yeah, they're fully in on with Planned Parenthood. And anyway, we have family members that'll still go there, and they're Christians, and they'll even kind of tease like, oh, well, I hope you guys don't hate me. I'm gonna go get me some Starbucks. And we're like, okay, if you feel comfortable with your conscience supporting that, then that's on you. But it's sad that Christians are like, oh yeah, you know, buying their coffee is gonna help fund the murder of babies, but you know, hey, the coffee's real good.
Yeah,
It's like,
they just don't want to stand up if it has to cost them something.
right. Yeah, to me it's kind of like, it's like if you were in Nazi Germany and you're like, oh yeah, I don't really support killing the Jews, but you know, hey, the Nazis have some good programs too. It's like, yeah, who cares? And that's what a lot of people say, like, oh, companies do good things too. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure Hitler had some good programs as well, but overall, he was a pretty evil dude. So it's like, you don't say, oh, well, they're balancing it out. No, you just find companies that aren't supporting this garbage.
And if you don't stand up to things, evil will take over. It's a constant battle. If you just think like, oh, well, most people are good and I'm not going to do anything about it, you're going to get overrun with evil. And it's going to become a huge problem to you. So it's not a solution to ever like be like Sweden or Switzerland and just stay neutral. Like, that's not a good solution. It's not gonna end well for you. You know, you have to always fight.
Yeah. Hey, I made him a moderator.
All right.
You know how I did it?
How?
I just took my finger and I kept sliding the chat up and down. I kept punching and then sliding and punching. And then all of a sudden, eventually, it popped up with the message that said,
bobbing and weaving and punching.
yeah, it's just funny. It doesn't want to do it, but finally it popped up with the little pop-up window that let me add a moderator. Oh.
But
So tell us.
Society's just a little bit too asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us about the 12 stones. What do we need to know? I know we should just not be lazy and we should just watch more of your stuff. But we're lazy, so just tell us.
Put out some more shorts so that we just watch little clips.
Yeah.
That's as much as our attention span is.
We're like,
just little
yeah,
bitty bits.
we've become like Gen Z now, or millennials or whatever. We have short attention spans.
Yeah, like we love this. I talked about the urban rescue ranch or farm or whatever it's called, but he has like serious ADHD type videos where he goes for one shot to the next like every 3 seconds, and we love that. It keeps our attention the whole time.
And I love that he always ends with the same line. It's something like, oh, I didn't show you guys that, and then it cuts off. Or something.
I guess that might be a trick to leave him
Right,
wanting more.
right.
We should do the same thing too. Oh, and the most important thing was.
Yeah, and I think he even replays the same clip. I think it's a pre-recorded clip that he always adds to the end of every video, because I think I've noticed that it's the same.
It's a psychology thing.
It's a psychology trick. So yeah, we want to know about the 12 stones. I used to know a girl from Oregon who moved to the East Coast, and she was in a band called 12 Stones.
Yeah.
I think it's a biblical reference, right? I think it's from the tribes, the 12 tribes. No,
12 disciples? Or?
No, I think it's from the 12 tribes. I think there was some thing in the Bible where they were supposed to put out 12 stones, or I don't know. I'm sure Byron knows because that's where he took his name from.
He'll just come back.
I mean,
like,
Josh.
Yeah, it sounded cool. Oh, yeah, Josh from Oklahoma. Watch out there.
Weird. What is that?
Might be poo, it might be grease.
Hey, it's Dwayne.
Wayne.
If Jesus paying LeBron, I'm paying Dwayne Wade. That's a line from that hip hop. Welcome to the Walk on the Prairie. Say hi to Dwayne.
Hey.
Oh, she found something.
Look what I got. There's all this different colored glass out here, so I collect it.
Oh, Dwayne, we were talking about Urban Rescue Ranch, I think it's called. Is that right?
Yeah.
It's a YouTube channel. It's this curly hair guy with a funny mustache.
He's from
And
Texas.
He's from Texas.
Just like Josh.
And he has... Oh, can you grab that for me?
Okay.
Got another bolt. He has...
It's not. It's not
Here, put it in this little guy.
Mr. Construction.
Oh. So he has all kinds of funny exotic animals. Like he has a kangaroo and
It's
some...
the baby.
His kangaroo's name is what?
The baby.
The baby. And he just has these really funny critters. And then, of course, he has some normal ones like goats.
He's got
capybaras. And he said he's so funny, but his videos are so fast moving. He does a cut like every 3 seconds. And it's funny. He'll have like his kangaroo or no, it wasn't the kangaroo. It was one of his birds. What are those? What are those birds he has? What are they called?
He has
rheas,
and emus, and he has one ostrich.
Oh, he says American Homestead does the same thing at the end of his. Yeah, it's a clever technique. We're gonna have to start doing it.
Yeah.
But he says really funny stuff. Like he has this rhea, you know, it's like a little mini ostrich, and it'll run after his goats. And he's like, "Oh, there's rhea chasing the goats because they're black." Yeah, Kevin is racist, and he'll just say like stupid stuff like that. But it's really fun.
Like all the catchphrase words of the day. So he's taught us a lot, like of the younger generation, because we're like,
yeah,
why does he keep saying sus? What does sus mean anyway?
Yeah, he uses all the buzzwords.
We learned it means suspect is sus. And then what does based mean?
Based just means like you're solid. You're a solid dude.
Yeah, you're based in something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we had heard that before. I first heard that from a guy from Seattle. He said I was based. And I was like, what?
I
had to look it up.
Buzzword cringe. I think that's too mean. Like when we started getting comments that had the word cringe in it and stuff, and this is so cringy and cringe. And it just sounds so mean, like you're putting down people.
Yeah.
So I don't like that one.
Here, you can hold it for a bit.
Okay.
Give my arm a rest.
Flip you around.
I just thought of something I wanted to check.
Okay. It's cringeworthy.
Right?
Yeah. I think he has like a prairie dog named Cringe. I think he lets his YouTubers name the animals. So he has like Walter Mondale is.
Does he really?
Yeah, is like maybe a capybara.
Who would know that reference? It's like old people.
He has a mixture, you know, of old people. It's like us. We would name it something like that. We's the old people.
Are you talking like that stupid Star Wars guy again?
What?
You know, the one that has the Jamaican accent with it. He said, we's the old people.
Oh, no.
The Jar Jar.
Oh, I'd never talk like Jar Jar on purpose. I hate that guy. It says from Joshua 3. Let's have a look. It's probably going to reveal what the 12 stones means. I can't get back to it because my phone is stupid. Top. Joshua 4. God instructed the Israelites to build a memorial stacking 12 stones, one for each tribe across the Jordan River, a memorial to remember God and that he had done promises. All that he had promised to do.
Look at that. There's a
Very
flock
nice.
of birds down on the horizon, but it just looks like a big black little cloud.
Yeah, it does look like a little poof. Well, that's a good mantra. 12 stones. And we're thankful for all that God has promised
Yes.
to do in our lives and has done for us. And we're very thankful for our little dog being better. Like I was asking him, I was like, can we have him for more years to come? I know he's really great and you want him, but can we have him for longer? And I guess he said, okay. Because the dog looks like it's just a little bit on the weak side, but other than that, it's using its back limbs just fine. And
Well, you keep saying just fine.
as in he can use them.
Yeah, he can use them. I wouldn't say
You're
fine.
like, it's not really an improvement. I mean, he was paraplegic yesterday, but it's not really an improvement.
No, you just keep making him sound like he's 100%. I'm like, he can barely climb
it's like
steps.
100% improvement over being unable to use your hind legs at all.
Yep. But he's got a ways to go.
Dwayne says, that's good to hear. Thank you. Yeah, we were really happy about it. Like, last night I slept really well. The night before, when he had lost power in his hind legs, I had a really bad night. I was really upset about that. It's all about the sleep patterns. Look at this addict. Look at this addict on his phone.
I'm trying to check our chat to see what's going on with it.
I think your phone is more keeping up on things.
No, it is. It is.
Yeah.
I just want to see too if it's mom.
Is that a piece of flint? What's that? Just a piece of rubber? Yeah, it's just a piece of rubber. Never mind. I thought I had found a Shoshone arrowhead. Just found a piece of rubber. I found arrowheads before down at the little creek that I used to live by in Oregon.
Yeah.
I'd find little arrowheads down there in Deer Creek.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. It's fun. I always love digging for treasure, like going to the beach and looking for agates and stuff like that. Or walking the dirt roads and looking for glass. There's treasure everywhere. Yeah, we need to get a metal detector. Well, actually, I think Mom has one.
There's one in our garage.
Yeah, it might be
Is that your
Jim's.
mom's?
I think that's Jim's.
Oh, we should get it.
Yeah,
out
we
and
should
use
use it. They found like a whole bunch of stuff around our property.
Yeah, when they were digging some trenches.
Yeah.
Found like old silverware and stuff.
Yeah. Because our house is from 1890. It's an old parsonage and used to be a school. And it went with a church that was a mile down from our house. And the cemetery to the church is still there, but they moved the church and made it into a museum. They moved it to the lake like 8 miles away. Kind of interesting.
So we're at the 2.5 mile point. So these roads are a mile long each one. Well, between intersections. And then halfway in between, they plant little stands of trees. And I assume that's to show that you're halfway. So when you get to the trees, that means you've done another half mile. So 2.5 miles down, 1.5 to go.
Yep.
But we're actually really enjoying this winter. It's been a very pleasant winter. We had like 1 week of harsh cold weather.
Yeah, we had to turn our water off because we were going to be gone for a few days.
Yeah, where it like was dropping down to below zero a little bit. It was like 1 week and I was thinking, oh man, this winter is going to be so terrible. But after about a week of that, it started coming back up. And now lately, all the days have been like this. It's been getting up to 50 during the day. And it drops down to like the 20s, like the mid 20s at night. But it's been a very pleasant winter. We hardly had any, we just had like one little day of snow and it was only what, like 3 inches, maybe 2-3 inches.
Yeah, not bad.
So it's been pretty mild. Of course, Winter is still young.
Yeah, and the winds, they are yet to come. And
Yeah, it's been very unwindy this winter, which is crazy. We've had a few windy days, but I mean, last winter was insane. Last winter was like so windy, it was crazy. Thought it was gonna blow our house down.
so yeah, that's good to do. We tried to do a live on Corn-Fed Life, but it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
And so but it looked like it was working on my screen. So we're suspicious of YouTube.
We're sus.
Yeah, we're sus of YouTube because we think they might be shadow banning us. Our Corn-Fed, because our Corn-Fed Life does a lot of conservative content, but this one doesn't. This one's just a DIY channel.
Yeah.
Joy says, we haven't had any more since your trip to Kentucky. You must have brought it with you.
Yeah, we brought it and we dumped it on you. Sorry, Dwayne.
Take that, Kentucky. We do love your beef sandwiches, though, have to say.
Yeah.
Steak, yep.
Yeah, I still tell people the best steak I've had was in Kentucky. That was some good steak. And we've had steak in Nebraska. Or I don't know, do we have steak? We had burgers. I don't know if we had steak.
No,
Anyway, Nebraska is supposed to be famous for their beef. But man, that Kentucky steak, I'll always be thinking about that.
I think the beef all around the Midwest is particularly tasty because they finish them with corn. Grain and corn makes the beef really tasty. They're on a grass-fed kick in Oregon, which tastes very bleh. Meh. Not very savory. We like the fat.
Yeah, chew the fat.
We are trying to get healthy though. That's why we're going on these long walks. And we're gonna try to cut out processed foods from most processed foods from our diet, you know.
There's no way we can cut out 100%. I don't think.
we can't cut out that breakfast cereal.
We thought, hey, if we cut back to 20% processed food, then we'll be doing good. I would say now, lately we probably eat like 60 to 70% processed food.
Jane says, good reason for you to move to Kentucky so you can have it a lot. That is a good reason. And that's not processed, right? The steak is not processed.
But I think we've kind of decided that Kentucky's off the list because you guys keep voting in Democrat governors. And I think, is abortion illegal there? I think it is. So that's good. So I guess Kentucky could sort of still be on the list. We decided we will not move to a state that has legal abortion because that just makes us sick. Because if you're in that state, you know that inevitably some of your tax dollars are going to go to fund that. Because most states that have Planned Parenthoods, they share some of the funding with them and stuff. So that's our stipulation. If we move from Kansas, which I don't know if we're going to, but we would like to at some point.
Well, because then Kansas we have to get Dwayne to move so we can have friends.
Yeah, wherever we move, just come join us, Dwayne. Yeah,
just pack up your family and all.
But I do think Kentucky is beautiful. It's a very pretty state.
Yeah, we did enjoy our time there.
Some beautiful countryside with nice rolling hills and little farms. And very pretty. Plus you got the Derby. We love the Derby.
Byron says, sounds good.
What sounds good?
Maybe moving to Kentucky for steak, or maybe having friends move to where you're at.
Well, I can't say that all the steak is good in Kentucky. There's a place that's actually famous in their area. That was in Paducah.
Is Moe's, right?
Doe's.
Doe's, okay.
Is Doe's like a doe, a deer, a female deer? A ray, a drop of golden sun. But because we actually told someone else in town, like we met somebody later in the day, and I was saying, oh, I had the best steak I've ever had. And she said, oh, is that at Doe's? So I discovered that they're pretty famous in that area. And
found a bolt. There it goes.
And it was just seasoned so well that I didn't even need to put A1 sauce on it to enjoy it. Usually, I don't like steak unless it's like slathered with A1.
It's only like 3 or 4 hours away. Says Paducah is too far to go for dinner. And
Oh,
we
dear.
did think that their downtown was just so precious. It was very beautiful.
Yeah, their downtown was really lovely. The rest of the town, not so much.
Yeah, not all areas were
They
nice.
don't really have zoning there. So it's like, it's just a big mess of like, different types of housing all mixed in, and junkyards and just.
Oh, he says probably about 6 or 7 hours.
Oh yeah,
So I
that
guess
might
that's
be
a
a
little
little far.
bit long.
But hey,
You
if
know-
you're ever in the area,
We happened at
you know
the
where to go.
Waffle House in California.
Oh yeah. Well,
Oh
not
no, it
in
wasn't California. It was Arizona.
Arizona.
Yeah.
Yeah, we found out that this couple would drive, I think it was 8 hours or something like that. I think they drove from California to Arizona just to eat at the Waffle House.
Yeah, they said, oh, we were just really craving it today, so we just went to the Waffle House.
Crazy.
Look at this guy.
Oh my goodness.
Whee!
Is that steel? Something?
Yep.
Should have brought that home. No,
That's too
not very
heavy.
cool. It's not heavy, it's my brother.
I've never seen that movie.
I don't even know what that movie is. I just heard that line.
Is it Brian's song or
I don't know.
Byron's song? Or
Josh's song.
Gotta watch more 1970s movies.
Ooh. What a world, what a world.
What a world, what a world. It was nice to actually get some decent sleep last night. Haven't had that for a while.
Yeah. The key to getting decent sleep is just to completely wear yourself out the day before.
Yeah. The key is to get a dose of what?
I don't know. A dose of cornfedlife.com.
You didn't even say it in your announcer voice.
cornfedlife.com.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen it, then spare yourself and don't see it. But if you have, we did a commercial for Corn Fed Life for Jonesy to put on his
What is this?
radio program.
I gotta get that. Look at that. It's like
It's a hammer.
it's a little mini pickaxe. There's some weird stuff out on these roads. I tell you what. Let me put that.
Byron said, have you guys seen The Awful Truth? It has Cary Grant. Have we seen that? It doesn't
don't
ring a
think
bell
so.
for me. Maybe we should. Like, all Cary Grant movies are good ones. Had a guy I worked with that drove from Columbus into Pennsylvania looking for a Waffle House. He ended up having to buy clothes for the next morning. And then Byron says, looks like a piece of a broken pipe wrench. Yeah, it probably is.
Probably was.
Yep.
Yeah, we love Waffle House, and unfortunately, we've never lived near one.
No.
We've lived in many different states, different cities, but
His cousin still hasn't gone to a Waffle House. There, she
Yeah.
lives right next to it.
yeah, I have a cousin in Arizona.
Oh no, she did. We drug him there.
I don't think we did. I
You
don't
don't?
I don't
Sounds like
remember
something
that.
we would do. Because
I
we'd be very
remember
passionate
talking
about it.
with them, but I don't remember doing
Yeah.
it. I mean, we could have, but anyway, the point is, they live just a few miles from Waffle House, and they could care less.
This is wrong.
It's just wrong. But hey, we actually found a place that I think we like about as much as Waffle House, or pretty close. And you'll know about this, Huddle House.
Oh yeah,
Huddle House.
is really good.
It's really good as well, and
good
it's
price.
dirt cheap. Huddle House. We went there the other day. I don't know if this is an ongoing thing, but they had like 5 or 6 different meals you could choose from for $5.
And it included your
It
drink.
includes a drink for $5, and it was like a chicken, a chicken sandwich, or What else did they have? I think they had like an omelet.
Yeah, breakfast pear and burger.
And this was like all day. $5.
Joyce says Waffle House is great. We go to one here a lot. I watched a story on Waffle House Girl, and that was when there was a huge fight that broke out in a Waffle House, and a customer threw a chair at this one skinny little lady, and she
man.
like deflected it like it was nothing, like it was a mosquito. She just went boop, and then the chair like flew off of her, and she just went about her business like it was nothing. And it got caught on tape on a cell phone.
Oh my goodness.
Of course, because there was some dude standing around not breaking up the fight, of course. And so then Waffle House cited her because the chair that got thrown at her ended up breaking a sugar container. So they cited her for that instead of giving her accolades for keeping her cool during a fight. And then she moved somewhere else, so she quit her job, and she wanted to work at a Waffle House in a different area. The one that she quit her job from really liked her and said like, oh yeah, you're always welcome back here, you know, anytime you want to come back to work here. And I guess they blacklisted her so that she could work at a different Waffle House.
Oh my.
Yeah. So that's not a good Waffle House. Joyce says, dinner's here, gotta go, see you later. Bye, Dwayne.
Bye, thanks for popping in and joining us for a bit.
Dwayne likes Waffle House better than Huddle House.
Yeah.
As long as it has house in the name. It's good.
The fun fact that we learned recently about Waffle House is that FEMA actually uses a Waffle House scale to determine how bad a natural disaster is. They actually have a scale, and it's based on how many Waffle Houses are closed in that area, because I guess Waffle Houses don't close unless they're pretty much like wiped off the map. Like they stay open through all kinds of storms.
Yeah, they have generators and excess
ingredients.
Yeah, stuff to work with
So
just in case of a disaster.
So, you know, they say like, oh, 30% of the Waffle Houses are closed. That means, oh, it's pretty bad. But, you know, if they say like, you know, 70% of the Waffle Houses are closed in that area, they know
That's a red light, and then
yeah, it's
they
a
need
really
to
bad
get
disaster.
in there immediately with aid.
Right. I thought that was pretty darn funny.
Yeah.
PDF.
Is that what that stands for?
Pretty darn funny. Isn't that funny that we use all these digital terms on the computer and we don't know what any of them mean?
Like, what does JPEG mean? Do you know?
Oh, I used to know. I don't know.
Junior pegulated.
I don't know.
What does GIF mean?
Probably something like graphic interface function.
Fun. They all end in fun.
I don't know. But yeah, it's funny. We use these like all the time and have no clue what they mean.
Yeah. That's what I do with just ordinary speech.
You just use
I
words
just fling out words. I have no
and you
idea
know
what they mean. You're jiggling. Jingling.
You got a whole pocket full of metal.
Yeah.
It was a good day.
Got a pocket full of metal. And the other hand is?
Giving a thumbs up.
Okay. So that reminds me, be sure to smash that like button. Give us a thumbs up.
Yeah, we're on the home stretch here.
Unless you already have, then don't do it again, because then that'll give us a thumbs down.
You know, I figured out, you know, that's how YouTube takes away a lot of your subscribers, is if you look a channel up, it'll still show the subscribe button. So you'll think you're not subscribed. But if you hit it, it unsubscribes you because you were already subscribed.
Oh my goodness.
But I found that to happen. Like I'll bring up a channel and it'll show subscribe, and I'm like, I'm sure I'm subscribed to that. But before I click on it, I'll go to one of their videos, and then sure enough, it'll show that I'm subscribed. But when you just type in the channel and it pops up, it'll show that you're not.
Huh.
So I think it's not necessarily, YouTube may not necessarily be unsubscribing people, they're just making people think they're unsubscribed, so they push that button and unsubscribe themselves. Although they might be doing some of it too, but they're definitely doing that because I've caught that happening multiple times.
Interesting.
So yeah, if you see a channel that you think you're sub to and it says subscribe, don't hit that button until you double check. Maybe triple check.
That's quite a setup that our neighbors got.
Yeah. This is quite the setup.
Nobody out today flying the drones. He was throwing some hedge apples at his drone the other day. We're like, oh, you're going to break it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
You think he could, maybe the battery's out or something, but you think he could turn it on and fly it out of there?
Yeah, probably stuck pretty good or something.
Yeah. Or maybe that's why it ended up in the trees because the battery went dead.
A lot of times too, if you fly into a tree, the propellers will break. The propellers are actually quite fragile.
Yeah.
I've broken them when I had that old one. So if a propeller or two breaks, then it's not going to fly.
What's the really strong metal that's quite is that titanium or alloy or something that's quite strong, but it's
light?
Yeah.
Well,
the aluminum
well, there's one they use for bikes.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of.
Yeah, that's I'll think of it. I know it.
So they should use things like that, like make it like a bird's wing is strong but lightweight because it's hollow inside. They should do the same thing for the drone propellers.
Something like chrome fiber. That's not it, but it's something.
Maybe they want to make it so that it won't cut off little fingers or something.
I'll look it up. No, I'm going to think of it. I'm going to challenge my brain. Oh, but we have a YouTube. I should know this because I used to. Corn-fed life. What's wrong with Gen Z? What's that?
They just, I don't know.
Why are they suddenly notifying me of this?
I don't know.
Maybe
I got the same notification on my phone.
Maybe I accidentally, Weird.
Why is YouTube notifying us of stuff we don't need to know?
Oh, I think it's carbon fiber. I'm pretty sure that's it. Carbon fiber is the super lightweight, super strong metal.
That's what I wish I was made out of.
Carbon fiber.
Yeah.
But you are super strong and super lightweight.
No, unfortunately not.
You're my little steel feather.
Steel chubby chub.
Did everybody leave us?
It's just a couple people there. And they might be talking, but I'm not quite sure. No, they're not talking. Not talking to you anyway.
Giving us the silent treatment.
Yeah. Was it something we said? Was it something we did?
Did the words not come out right? Did we try not to hurt you? Oh, we tried.
Oh, Byron says he's listening. Listening to us drone on.
Well, we appreciate it.
Drone on about drones. You were talking about drones.
That's true.
Okay, we got another piece of fruit.
Byron never Stone's family.
What about the Stone's
family? We want to know everything. Like, what are they all about? What makes the 12 stones tick?
Oh, like what do they do and stuff like that? Okay.
I know he's got kids running around and a wife or something, a wife or two. Just kidding. That would be if he lived in Utah.
Which will probably become legal pretty soon here.
Yeah. It's inevitable. I mean,
yeah, because if they didn't do it out of morality, why would they? I mean, why would they?
Yeah, that's what I think. If our country is completely moved away from morality, why don't they let a guy have as many wives as he wants?
What do you mean? Maybe it's a woman that wants a whole bunch of
Yeah.
husbands.
Well, yeah,
You
that
know,
should be
that's not going to
that
happen.
should be fine too. I mean, I don't personally believe that's fine, but I think like, hey, if the government's going to legalize every other type of marriage, then why not let 5 people get married to each other? Like, what business of it if we're just strictly a secular government now? And who
Yeah.
cares?
Yeah, I discovered
Like,
that George Washington, not recently, but probably starting about 10 years ago, turned his back on In God We Trust on the quarter.
oh, yeah. I think
So I
people are
was
reading too much into
comparing the quarters from, because a guy, Brian from Solomon Valley, he was looking at my quarter that I handed to him. He's like, "What? He changed George." And then he pulled out an older quarter, and I was like, "No way." Totally changed him. Changed the way he's facing. And now he's like really buff George. Like he has a big, thick neck and stuff.
that. George started lifting.
Yeah. Hopefully we don't see a burn here. Hopefully the kid got it down.
I know. I thought if he hadn't, maybe we could come up with a way to help him.
Yeah.
But I bet you he got it. It was just past the driveway there.
There was an interesting case recently in New York about a poly group. Oh, I haven't heard about that. Do you remember the outcome of the case? If they said it was all right or not? I hope not. One thing's for sure, Utah is certainly beautiful.
Yeah,
And they set up their town so lovely, like.
yeah. I think he got it. I don't see it.
Yeah, he did. All right. All right, all right, all right. You see how the tornado snapped off all these top limbs here? See that?
I think those were pruned.
Maybe.
Well, it's funny that yeah, there's a little section of them that all look pruned, and then a section not.
Yeah, I
Probably 'cause they're
wonder why they did that, to move farm equipment past or something.
Well, it's probably because they're getting up into the lines,
Oh,
the power lines.
basically recognizing the group as legitimate now. So that's poopy.
Well, I don't see how they cannot, since our government basically lately is just saying like, oh, we're secular, and dudes can marry and whoever wants can marry. Like,
Yeah,
how can
they don't have a legal leg to stand
Yeah,
on
if we're
if they're not basing marriage on morality.
right? Yeah, it's funny to me too that um, America still uses the Bible to like swear people into office and different things, because it's like as a country we've basically moved away from God and
Well,
the Bible.
then again, you turn on ESPN and
Yeah,
they'll be talking about how they want to stop everything and pray for Darren.
yeah,
And that was amazing.
that was pretty neat
Especially
to see.
because ESPN is owned by Disney.
Yep.
Hopefully that doesn't make him get fired.
I know. Yeah, just watch. They'll quietly let him go in a few weeks or something.
What's quiet hiring? So there was that term quiet quitting, where you just don't care anymore, so you start doing a bad job and not showing up for work or showing up late. And you can get away with it nowadays because your employer is so desperate for employees that you can
Right.
totally get away with anything. But now there's a term called quiet hiring, where I guess you're hired to do a job here and there, but you're never an official employee, so they don't have to offer you any health benefits.
Well, part of the quiet hiring means they don't publicize the job. They just kind of move people around within
Oh,
the
okay.
organization, is what I gathered.
Yeah.
So it's like they hired someone for a position, but they didn't like tell people, like, oh, there's a job opening. You just shuffle people around the company.
Every day I'm shuffling.
I like the new term, rage applying for jobs. We read an article about a lady who rage applied for a bunch of jobs.
Because
And-
she was mad at
Yeah.
her own job.
So her own job wouldn't promote her. So she was angry and just went out and applied to a bunch of other companies. just because she was mad at her company. And sure enough, some company hired her for basically a promotion over what she was currently getting.
That's what Craig did before it was a thing.
Yeah, I did that like 30 years ago. When I was a bag boy for 2 years at a grocery store. I knew, most of the customers, they knew me. I was well liked. And so I told them I want to be a cashier. Next time, there's an opportunity open. Boss didn't reply to me. Next thing I knew, they hired a new guy, an outsider that wasn't even part of our store, to be and he was another young guy, just maybe a year or two older than me. So I was like, oh, all right, I see what's going on here. So I went and applied to be a cashier at another store, and they hired me like on the spot because they liked that I had a couple years experience working in groceries.
Hey, I did the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was working at Bi-Mart, and they wouldn't give me but 30 hours a week, and I had signed in my agreement to have a 40-hour work week. And we were hurting for money, so I really wanted that. Because otherwise, I wouldn't want to work 40 hours a week. But so they called me and they said, you do understand this is not a legal contract. It's an agreement. It's different. I thought, oh, give me a break. And even my supervisor was trying to get me the hours that I wanted. And they came up with some sneaky way of doing it so that it'd be hard for me to achieve those hours, but I would still be making money for the company because I guess they get reimbursed through an insurance company if I set up these meetings discussing people's medical histories or whatever. Anyway, it's a difficult means to get your 40 hours a week. And so then I just applied to Costco and I was hired there right away. I still didn't get my 40 hours, but it was an awesome place to work for. I remember the managers there were great. And, well, they were really supportive of Bi-Mart too, but not the, like, regional managers or anything. But, yeah, Costco would give you lots of free treats and turkeys at major holidays, and they were a great company to work for. And plus, like, nobody knew about the pharmacy in Costco that you could get in there without having to have a membership. So it was like really low workflow too. That was awesome. But yeah, I got mad at Bi-Mart and left and worked for Costco.
And here's a little FYI, Byron, and anybody else listening. So yes, Corrine worked at a store called Bi-Mart, but it's not a store for people with a deviant lifestyle. Okay, it's a really big, actually, chain of stores. They're all over the Pacific Northwest. And why are they called Bi-Mart? I don't know.
I don't know.
But a lot of people hear that and they're like, what? What is it called? It's literally spelled B-I-M-A-R-T.
It's like a club, like Costco, except their fee is like $5 one time
for life.
Lifetime fee.
But it's not really a Costco type store.
Nah.
They just sell normal stuff. But yeah, it's funny they spell it B-I-Mart, not B-U-Y. Bi-Mart.
And as an employee, you got such an awesome discount on their merchandise. That was good. I don't remember the discount you get at Costco. I don't think it was very significant, but it's Costco.
But Bi-Mart, it was like you paid like 10% above store cost on items. If I remember right, or was it 5%? Anyway, it was 5 or 10%
above cost,
above their cost.
Right.
Not the price of the public, what the store actually was paying for items.
Yeah.
And it was neat because on their price tags, they'd have a little code and they would tell employees how to decipher it. So you knew.
It
so
was
basically
a letter stood for a number.
Yeah, so the code kind of showed what the store's cost was. So you knew.
Beth Cornett.
Hey, Beth. You popped in right at the end of our walk. We're almost done.
She says, oh, phew, that I don't have to listen to them.
But anyway, it was fun because you could see what stores were paying for their merchandise, what their actual cost was. And one thing I learned is that one of the items with the biggest markup are tarps. Tarps.
No, that's not how you say tarps.
Tarpaulines. Tarps have like an 80 or 90% markup. Like
Whoa.
most items that the store would sell, they had a moderate markup, like, 15, 20%, something like that. But tarps were marked up like 80%. So when you got them at the employee discount, a tarp that was like $10 would cost you like less than $2. It was crazy.
Oh, that's nutty.
So I'm like, they're making a lot of money on them tarps.
Byron says, by probably insinuating that you'll have less trips to the store because they have more. Maybe.
It was just a normal sized store, but it was kind of like they had a little of everything. They had like a small grocery section, a small electronics, a pretty good, well, not like a full sporting goods store, but they had a pretty decent sporting goods.
Beth said, "Oh, I just got notified," and then they shut you down.
Oh, well, we still appreciate you popping in for a few minutes.
We're end of our 4-mile walk.
Yep. And it's been a lovely day. Nice weather. Only about 50 degrees out.
Nice weather means we don't have wind. That's all that it means. It could be like 20 degrees, but with no wind, it means nice weather.
Yeah. When it gets windy out here, it gets terrible.
Yeah.
We need to get that fence put up. It's going to look nice when you have a fence along that back.
Yeah, I believe so.
Then you won't see all the junk.
Or we could remove the junk.
So, Beth,
we still got a pile of junk.
We got about a minute left. Tell us what you're up to today.
What you doing?
So what do you like?
Byron says it was a great walk. Oh. Next time you need to go for a walk as well.
Yeah.
Then you'll enjoy it even more.
Yeah, take your phone and you go for a walk and watch. Hey, we could do one of those
dueling lives.
The split lives. Now YouTube will let you do two, have one guest on. Great. We should challenge somebody to go for a walk with us, and then have a split screen, and we could each chat.
Oh, that's a really clever idea. Like we could get a fitness club going and have more people go on walks with us.
Yeah, that'd be fun. It's always easier with a person.
She said house cleaning and crocheting. And Byron's going to do some video editing this evening.
Ooh, sounds like something new coming out.
Yeah.
We'll have to watch it.
We're going to do a U-News this evening. It's been too long. We haven't done one yet, but we have a good excuse because our little puppy dog's been sick.
And Beth and Byron, when are you guys going to contribute to our U-News?
Beth waiting. Said, and she's going to YouTube, of course.
Nice. You guys should contribute to our U-News. Tell us what's going on in your neck of the woods. It's easy and fun, and you can win cool prizes.
Yeah. It'll change your life.
We've already given away like quite a few prizes.
Did we get the mail today?
Yeah, you went out and got it after you came.
Alrighty. Well, we're back at home, so we're going to say ta-ta for now.
Thanks for coming in, everybody.
Yep, thanks for
tell them
joining
goodbye.
Us. Bye.
Whoa, she's doing jumping jacks.
Woo.
And leg kicks. She's going to do a whole show.
Roundhouse kick.
Whoa, is that Chuck Norris over there?
Must be.
Oh, wait, Beth says, how do we do that? So, Beth, if you want, you can watch one of our U-News. So we have a little program. This is on Corn-Fed. It's not on this channel. But we have a little program called U-News. So you can watch one when we had a guest. We don't always have guests. But the gist of it is
every U-News in the description will tell you how to do it. But yeah, then you can watch one with a guest. I think the last one had a guest, the latest one that we did. So you can like get kind of an idea of what we're looking for.
Yeah, so here, I'll tell them the gist of it.
Okay.
So what you do is you basically just hold up your phone here like this and shoot a selfie. Just shoot like a 30 to 60 second selfie of you telling the news in your area. And it doesn't have to be like news that's on TV.
Oh, we horizontal, by the way, because it makes it easier. We just fill our screen.
Yeah, so actually don't shoot it selfie style, shoot it like this. But just tell us what's going on with you or your family or your school or your community or whatever you want. we don't really want stuff that that's on TV. We want like just personal stuff. So you can say like, "Oh, in my neighborhood we did this thing," or
Yeah, just real short, just 30 to 60
yeah, and
seconds.
all you have to do is when you start, this is the important thing, before you start, because we make it look like you're live on the air with us. So you start by saying, "Thanks, corn-fed," and then you say your story like, "Oh, today 3 of my chickens escaped and I had to do this and that, and we got a new cow," or whatever, or it doesn't have to be animal related. But and you say, "And that's what's new out here in my neck of the woods. Back to you, corn-fed." And then that's it. And then you just email that clip to us through Dropbox, and we have instructions below all of our News videos on how to do that. It's really easy.
And if you don't want to do the Dropbox app, you could just email it to our email address, which is on every News.
Yeah, it's just cornfedlifepodcast@gmail.
Yeah.
And so everybody that sends us in is basically what we do is whoever sends us the most reports that we use in a month, and trust me, we don't get very many. A typical month we'll get like 2 or 3. I think the biggest month we ever had, we had like 5. So um, whoever sends us the most get a really nice tumbler with our Corn-Fed Life logo on it,
Or a hat.
or you can get a Corn-Fed Life hat. So sometimes the winners have been people that just sent one video, because we've had months where only one person sent it all month.
Right.
We've only had one submission so far this month, so you would have to send at least 2 to win so far. But like I said, it's really easy. It doesn't have to be fancy. You just do what I said and then shoot it to us, and then we'll put it in our newscast. And so it's kind of a fun way to share with the world what's new with
and
you.
promote your channel. We put a link to your channel below, and we talk about your channel a little bit.
Yeah, and if you don't have a channel, like I don't think Beth has a channel. So but we can promote whatever you want, or if you're promoting a community event, we can put a link to that, or whatever. It's just kind of to be fun. It's kind of fun and lighthearted, so it doesn't have to be serious. You can kind of be goofy, or you can act serious if you want, whatever your style is. But yeah, it's just you telling us something for 30 to 60 seconds. That's all. So yeah, think about it. And if you guys submit one, we would really love it, because we're trying to get more and more people involved. And it's a great way to promote your event or your community or YouTube channel.
She says they'll try to work on that. We're trying to get that going too.
Awesome.
Make our own channel.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because we will definitely, if you do have a channel, we'll put a link to it in the description, and we'll tell people that's Beth from Beth Cornet's channel. And
oh, Cornet. Gotta say it right.
Cornet. And yeah, we'll tell people how to get to your channel, and yeah, so it's a great promotion for you as well.
All right, you guys all have a lovely evening. Thanks
for joining. God bless.